What's up, everybody? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new action figure review. Today we are finally taking a look at AHSOKA Tano in her Padawan look from the Clone Wars. I am super late to the party with this figure. My pre-order took forever to ship, but finally I was actually able to snag one off of Amazon. So now, months after everyone else, I finally do have this figure, and I'm very excited to finally have her. I've got to mess around with her at Justin's house, so I know that she's pretty damn awesome, but it's always nice just finally having the figure for myself. So let's run through the packaging real quick here. It is plastic free. You see the nice digital render of AHSOKA on the front. The mural art this time around is something that I am not feeling. That face is kind of weird. On the back we have a nice bio if you want to pause it and read it now. You can also see the digital render again here. She is the 13th figure in the line. Something I will miss forever is this nice side panel here that shows you the figure is 5.6 inches tall and she has her two lightsabers included. And here's the barcode down at the bottom. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at her two lightsabers and then, of course, the figure itself. So in typical Black Series fashion, we just get her two lightsabers here. The hilts are nicely detailed, really simplistic though, but that is the design. Just silver and black for both of them. You can see we have the shorter Shoto saber with her longer normal one, and they are both green, although I think at least sometimes in Clone Wars the Shoto saber is yellow, or at least has a more yellowish hue to it, so I guess you could argue that maybe this one should be a little bit yellow while this one should just be a straight green, but either way I think they both look nice. And here she is out of the packaging, looking absolutely fantastic. This Padawan AHSOKA is really well done. This is another shining example of just how awesome the modern Black Series can be. And I'm glad that it took this long to get Padawan AHSOKA, because if we had got her sooner, she definitely would not be this well articulated or well designed in general. So let's not waste any more time here. Let's go ahead. We're going to get her off the stand and we'll take a closer look at her details. All right, and so here we are up close, and yeah, just take a look at that fantastic head sculpt here. I think this is easily the best AHSOKA face that we have gotten, not including the Mandalorian appearance, but between all of the animated looks, this is definitely the best so far. The photoreal paint app here is very cleanly applied. I love how clean the white markings on her face are. We get some nice gold details around her face as well for her like headdress thing around her leku, which feeds all the way around and then to the back of the figure where there is a nice little braid detail there, and that's awesome. I think they did a really great job here. These are definitely hard plastic, so they do get in the way just like all the AHSOKA figures do, but I really don't know what else can be done with that. We got some nice details on her neck, a little bit of gold paint there, and the costume here is just really well done throughout. The paint apps are really clean where they need to be, like on her armbands. No bleed over there. Everything looks really nice. The detailing here on her sash is well done, along with this gold and silver paint there on the buckle. You can see she also has two pegs for lightsaber storage at the front. And something we don't see too often with a Black Series figure here is that she actually has a force gesture hand, kinda. It can be used that way. It also can be used to do like her classic folded arm pose, which this figure can do, and that's always a very nice detail, and it just adds such personality to the figure. The only downside with that being getting her to grip the second saber is definitely difficult. What I recommend is simply taking the peg for storage and fitting it between her fingers like this, and it kind of gets a little bit more grip to the actual saber itself, and I've found that she holds it pretty well if you put it in just like that. However, I will say I think we should just start getting alt hands. Even just one alt hand would be great if this was just a grip hand, and then as an accessory we just got this hand. I think that would be pretty nice. And then jumping back down to the leg details here, you can see she also does not have thigh swivel, and there is not really a whole lot of paint going on except for on this side of the leg here, which shows her nice orange skin tone shining through there. And again, really nice, cleanly applied paint apps there. And even down to the boots, we get a little bit of gold there for the buckles, and that is just some really nice detailing there. It's always great to see paint on a Black Series figure. especially one that is technically standard, as these days the paint seems to be few and far between, but she actually does have quite a bit of detailing on her, and the sculpting here is just excellent as well. So detail-wise, Hasbro nailed it. And now articulation-wise, her head can just look up a little bit. She can look down just a little bit as well. The Leku really get in the way of her head movement, which is pretty typical for every single Ahsoka figure we've seen in the Black Series so far. So I'm not really surprised by it. But she does have the double neck peg, but again, it just really doesn't help that much. You do get a little bit, you know, just a little bit of side to side, nothing too crazy. And you can rotate her head around, not really 360 unless you force it like that, but now I got to adjust her neck back. Her shoulders can move up pretty much just straight forward. They can rotate all the way around. She does have some butterfly joints in there that work pretty well. We have a single elbow here that gives us more than 90 degrees and does have a swivel, and her grip hand rotates around and has a vertical hinge. So not quite all the modern Black Series upgrades that we could see. Of course, this figure would be even better if she had ball jointed wrists. And the gesture hand also has a vertical hinge and swivels. As far as an ab crunch goes, we can just get her to go forward ever so slightly and back pretty far, which is pretty typical for a Black Series figure. We do also get rotation and a little bit of side to side there. As far as the leg goes, it can kick all the way out here. The soft plastic skirt does not really hinder the articulation at all. She can do the splits very well, just a little bit of kickback this time. The hip swivel here is just a little bit. You still get a decent amount though on this Ahsoka. The single knee here gives you a little bit more than 90 degrees and swivels. And then down to her feet, they can go down all the way and they can go up just a little bit, not really at all. And she does have ankle pivot, although it is a little bit restricted on this side because of the boot design. But it's always nice having simple things like a force gesture hand to just make the figure that much more dynamic. And even simple vanilla poses end up looking really nice and can translate that sassiness that Padawan Ahsoka has. Finally, let's get to the comparisons. We've got tons of Clone Wars figures to go over, so let's get started here with the Target exclusive Clone Wars Anakin and Obi-Wan. These three look amazing together. Then we have Plo Koon and Kit Fisto, Ayla and Mace. Next up, we have the Black Series Captain Rex and the Phase 1 2020 Clone Trooper. Following those, we have the Clone Wars Season 7 Ahsoka and the Mandalorian live-action appearance of Ahsoka as well. And we'll start to round things out here with a few villains from the Black Series. We have General Grievous and a B-1 battle droid, and this is also some really nice scaling here. And rounding things out for the comparisons, we have the Magna Guard and the Mandalorian Loyalist. And so overall, I think this Black Series Padawan Ahsoka figure is another great entry into the Black Series. She's got really nice details, great articulation. Sure, there could be a few tweaks to make her even better, but as is, she is really well done. She is without a doubt the best articulated, most dynamic Ahsoka we've gotten in the Black Series so far, and she is just a blast to pose. So there you have it. That was my review. I would definitely recommend this one for the collection. Any Clone Wars collector out there should be looking to add this one to the shelf. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars The Black Series here on the channel. Big shout out and special thank you to all of our current channel members. Your continued support is truly appreciated. And thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate from Out of the Basement, and I will see you